Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving right into a totally wild, universally frustrating mystery of the human mind. We've literally all been victims of it, and by the end of this, you're gonna know exactly what your brain is doing behind the scenes.
So picture this. You're chilling on the couch, right? And you realize you need your phone charger from the bedroom. So you get up, you walk down the hall, step through the bedroom door, and boom, literally nothing. Total blank. You're just standing there, staring at your bed, thinking, wait, why on earth am I in here? You try to retrace your steps in your mind, just totally, completely baffled.
Well, first off, you are not losing your mind, I promise. What you just experienced actually has an official scientific name, and it is called the doorway effect. Yeah, it turns out just the act of walking through a doorway literally causes you to forget things. But to understand why this happens, we kind of have to look at how our brains construct our everyday reality.
Okay, let's dive right into this. So, cognitive psychologists explain that as humans, we constantly have to make sense of this never ending stream of incoming sensory information. If your brain tried to process all of that at once, like one giant, seamless, incredibly long movie, it would just instantly short circuit, right? So, what does it do? It organizes this information into manageable little units called event models. Basically, think of these event models as mental chapters in a book. And here's the kicker. Your brain uses spatial locations to figure out exactly where one chapter ends and the next one begins. So when you cross a spatial boundary, like a doorway, your brain effectively says, okay, that scene is over. It completely closes the previous chapter, files it away, and opens up a brand new, totally empty chapter for the new room. As you cross that threshold, all the working memory from your previous location just scatters.
But wait, is the physical doorway actually to blame here? Well, researchers at Notre Dame wanted to find out for sure, so they built this massive 55-room virtual reality environment to test it out. By running 4 very specific experiments, they basically acted like cognitive detectives eliminating suspects in a lineup. So let's look at them.
All right, suspect number 1, memory overload. Is the doorway effect just a glitch from your brain trying to track way too many things at once? To test this, the researchers actually reduced the memory load down to just one single object. Just one. But guess what? People still forgot what it was after crossing a doorway. So, memory overload? Eliminated. Moving on to suspect number 2, distance. Maybe it's not the doorway at all, right? Maybe just the simple act of walking a long way gives your brain more time to forget what you were doing. So to test this one, the researchers created these massive rooms in VR. They had participants walk across long rooms that were 3 times the length of the short rooms, all without crossing a single doorway. And the result? Walking a huge distance inside the exact same room did not cause a spike in forgetting. The memory wipe only happened when they physically shifted through a door. So physical distance? Eliminated. Okay, suspect number 3, perceptual surprise. Normally, when you walk through a door in a solid wall, you obviously can't see what's on the other side. The researchers thought, hey, maybe the sudden, abrupt visual change of entering a previously hidden room is what actually shocks the brain into resetting. Now, what's really interesting about this is how they tested it. They replaced those solid walls with transparent glass walls. So participants could see perfectly into the next room before they even reached the door, literally zero visual surprise. Yet when they crossed the threshold, the memory wipe still happened. The glass didn't save them. So lack of sight? Eliminated. Which brings us to the final suspect, visual changes in texture and color. What if we just tricked the brain by making the next room look absolutely 100% identical to the first one? Or on the flip side, what if we completely changed the wallpaper halfway across a giant room that had no door? Astonishingly, changing the wall textures halfway through a giant room did not trigger the memory wipe, but walking through a doorway into an identical-looking room still did. So let's quickly review our false suspects here. It's not memory overload, it's not how far you walked, it's not a lack of sight, and it's not the wall texture or color changing. The environment looking different has nothing to do with it. This leads us right to the grand conclusion of the study, perfectly captured by a quote from the researchers. They wrote that event cognition is driven by imposing a categorical shift from one event to another, rather than just the visual information available. In plain English, the doorway itself is the categorical shift. So the crucial point here is this. Your brain actually isn't reacting to the physical environment changing at all. It is strictly enforcing a mental boundary. The threshold of that door acts as a hard stop. It scatters the particles of your working memory because it's frantically filing away the previous room's event model and quickly booting up a fresh, empty one for the brand new space you just entered. The doorway is, quite literally, a mental reset button. So, how do we actually use this science to fix our everyday lives? Well, the next time you find yourself standing in the kitchen holding a spatula with absolutely no idea why you are there, the fastest way to recover your lost thought is to literally walk backwards. Go right back into the living room where you originally had the thought. By doing this, you are actually forcing your brain to re-enter the old event model, retrieving the chapter that it literally just filed away. The doorway effect is a funny, slightly annoying little quirk for sure, but it actually reveals something really profound. Your brain isn't just passively recording the world like a video camera. It is actively directing, cutting, and editing your reality into distinct mental chapters just to keep you functioning. But it leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder today. If your brain is constantly editing your reality into chapters, what else is getting left on the cutting room floor without you even noticing? Well, thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, I really hope this helps you the next time you completely forget why you walked into a room.